Alright guys, we're back today after a while, and today we're using a Intimidate core team with Mega-Manectric and Scarf Landorus. We've also got Specs, Keldeo, Focus Sash, Breloom. I'm thinking about switching it to Life Orb because Focus Sash, I focus too heavily on it. So we've also got Magma Storm, Tran, and the one defensive ZtheZorua on the team. So once again, the oddball out in most cases, and we're going to just try to find a battle, see how that goes. Trying to ladder up a little bit. And, I mean, we're decently high on the ladder. I don't know if I'm placed top 500. I was for a very long time, and then after Hoopa and Bound got banned, I just wasn't able to get back up anymore for some reason. So, this guy's got a Mega-Manectric, which kind of scares me. I do have Scizor, but that can't take a high jump kick, can it? Even if it's defensive? I don't think so. Just going to lead Landorus, as he definitely knows that I don't really have a switch for this. He's probably just going to fake me out. I'm going to go for U-turn on the fake out. And then I'm going to go for the Earthquake, I believe. To catch his... No, he's got a Rotom. He actually goes for Garchomp, so obviously Earthquaking would have been the better play there. But he is Rocky Helmet, so I'm not sure if Manectric takes him out. Manectric... Mega-Manectric OU Special Attacker versus Garchomp. Take it out from that range. Hidden Power Ice does 74 to 88, so I'm not messing around with that. We're just going to go into Keldeo, and we are going to fire off a big Hydro Pump. Actually, I'm going to fire off a Secret Sword because I don't want his... well, I didn't want his Volcanion coming in, but this is just as bad, so... nothing I can really do to this thing. I'm just going to go into Heatran. Hopefully he fires off a Hurricane. That would be his best play over U-turning, but he decides to U-turn instead. I could have just fired off another Secret Sword and something would have taken a tremendous amount of damage, but that's okay too. Obviously could have gone Medicham. That wouldn't have been a terrible play, but Medicham's pretty frail, so... now he gets off a pretty free... I don't have anything to suck up a Water move barring Keldeo. It's a pretty free Steam Eruption here. Pretty sure that'll take us out because we're offensive. I'm just going to go Keldeo, unfortunately. I gotta take the hit. But now his Tornadus is a pretty obvious switch here. So I'm going to go right back out into Heatran. Hopefully he doesn't Steamer up, but he does. Okay. And we are going to go into Manectric. And here I'm just going to fire off a Flamethrower, predicting his Excadrill to come in. As it should, and it does. There we go. So we're going to get off a lot of damage there. I don't know if this thing is Scarfed. It most likely is. So I'm going to go into Scizor. And this thing can't come in on an HP Ice. So, yeah, we're pretty good. We're pretty good to go with Manectric. I just really need to play it correctly. We can take down Garchomp. We can damage Rotom. We can damage. We can kill Tornadus. We can kill Volcanion. So he's going to go for an Earthquake. Obviously, as you can see, that doesn't do anything. And now we're just going to U-turn, and he doesn't have a good U-turn switching, barring Garchomp. But now he puts his Garchomp in Manectric's Hidden Power Ice range. So, yeah, that's what we're going to go for. And goodbye, Garchomp. I don't see him switching here, because he doesn't have anything that's faster than my Manectric, barring his Excadrill, and his Excadrill would get killed at this point. So, I think he's just going to let his Garchomp go down at this point. And getting up rocks is pretty much useless, because I still have my Scizor to defog them away. Keldeo still has some viability in this matchup. It can definitely dent his Medicham. It can put a dent in his Rotom as well. Don't really need it per se, but it is one of my fastest Pokemon, so... we'll see what he goes into. He goes into Excadrill, so that's going to go down. And now he definitely doesn't have anything faster than my Manectric, so... if he goes into Medicham, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go into Scizor here, because I just want damage on this thing. He actually chooses to go for High Jump Kick. I don't know exactly why, but now I can go Keldeo, and actually I'm going to go Landorus, and I'm going to U-turn again regardless of his Garchomp. I really think he's going to go Rotom this time, because I can easily Earthquake, so... no, he just chooses to go right out into Garchomp again. Okay. And this time we're going to go Keldeo, and he already knows that I can't fire off a Water move. Or can I? I'm going for Hydro Pump here, because even if he goes Volcanion, I don't care, and if he goes Torn, I just want to get damage off on that. So, If his Torn stays in here, if he goes for U-turn, I'm not sure that it takes me out. It does not. He can go into Volcanion freely here, obviously. I'll go down to burn, but now my Manectric comes in and fires off a big Volt Switch. So pretty solid, like that. I don't think he would switch into Garchomp here. There's no reason to, right? Yeah, he's just going to let his Volcanion take a bunch of damage. And at this point, I'm just going to go into Breloom. It's not going to get burned, luckily. And I'm not going to make contact with your Garchomp. I'm just going to go for Bullet Seed. So, yeah, I'm not risking that. He can go into his Tornadus now and just fire off a Hurricane. That's okay. I'd be perfectly fine with that. He can alternatively go into Medicham and just fake me out, which is what I think he's going to do. I'm just going to go for a Mach Punch here. That's perfectly fine. That's okay. I don't mind that at all. As I'm going to go Lando now, and I'm going to U-turn. Actually, you know what? No. We're not playing games anymore. I'm just going to go for EQ. It'll knock out his Garchomp with two hits. He might double into his Rotom. That's perfectly fine. I don't care. He might double back out or try to Volt Switch on me. Is that what he's going to do? He's going to try to Volt Switch on me, yep. And now I'm kind of hoping he goes for Hydro Pump. He goes for Volt Switch again, perfectly fine. He's going to go out into Medicham, and I'm going to click Thunderbolt. He's going to go for Fake Out, and I'm going to click Thunderbolt again as he chooses to go into Garchomp, and I'm going to click Hidden Power Ice and just get rid of it. There we go. That's taken care of. And how much does his Fake Out do? 34.5. So I'm going to go into Landorus here. Hopefully he doesn't go straight for the high jump kick or the Ice Punch. I don't think he would. Hopefully not. And now I can U-turn freely. So, and then I'm going to have to rely on Stone Edges or something like that. Medicham is just annoying. It just switches out, fakes out, switches out, fakes out. So he's going to go for a Fake Out. Awesome. I kind of want to predict the Bullet Punch and switch back into Manectric, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. As he is going to Bullet Punch. There we go. Awesome. And now we get our kill. As he goes Tornadus, that drops. And we already know that Fake Out doesn't take us out. His Fake Out does how much to me? I think we saw 34 or something like that before. Let's go back a couple of turns. Fake Out. That was on Breloom to kill it. And then we took 34.5. So yeah, that's quite a bit. I'm just going to let Landorus go down here, as now he can definitely just switch out into his Rotom. And, oh, it actually takes it very well. So we need a crit here, as we don't get one. And he goes for Hydro Pump. He goes for the least accurate move. And he takes us out. So unfortunately, we're going to take that first game as a loss. But we once again learn. Was that the guy? No, that wasn't it. So yeah, that's a little unfortunate. We're going to try to get another game rather quickly here. It is Saturday, so a lot of people are home. And we'll pause it until we get one. Never mind. We got one. Alright, so we got a dual water core. We got Crawdont, Starmie. I think I've played this guy before, actually. He's got a Mamoswine, which kind of scares me. I'm tempted to lead with Scizor. Alright, so Scizor is good against 5 out of 6. So, unless he leads Talonflame, this is a decent lead. As he leads Mamoswine, awesome. I'm just going to click U-turn. If he wants to go for the Stealth Rocks, that's perfectly fine. I'm most likely just going to go out into my Keldeo on this thing and then just fire off a big water hit. Either a Scald or a Hydro Pump. Probably a Scald, though, because I'd like to get a burn on that Crawdont. Or on the Sceptile, either one would be great. Definitely not going for the fighting move because he has a Talonflame, so I don't want him switching into that directly. He's going to actually go straight into Talonflame, so that's awesome. We have a Heatran to completely check this thing. Counter it. Yeah. Yeah, he can't do anything to us. So I'm just going to go for Stealth Rocks. He goes for U-turn. Awesome. I'm going to actually calc that. I just want to see Talonflame. Where is Choice Band? Put it at a level 100. And I would just want to see if it's actually a banded set. Heatran. Where's Stall Breaker? Offensive Stall Breaker. U-turn would do more, so he's not banded. Okay, cool. So he's going to go into Starmie. That's cool. He can go for a Rapid Spin right here, but I don't see that happening. it's much more likely that he would go for a water move. I don't think he takes me out if he's defensive, though. So I'm just going to trap him in here. He's going to go for Hydro Pump, so he's defensive with Hydro Pump. Okay. Going to go into Landorus. I believe we take him out with a knockoff, hopefully. Let's go for it. Do we? If he's defensive? Hydro Pump shouldn't have taken me out unless he has special attack investments, so we're going to get off that knockoff. We get his choice band off. That's awesome. So I'm actually just going to go for it again. Get off a little more damage on this thing. That'll bring in a Mamoswine, obviously, but if it is a Sash variant, that's great for us. We just broke its Sash, so I'd rather him not be able to go into Starmie right here. And Sceptile's going to come out. Okay, cool. So I can just go into Scizor hard. Hopefully he doesn't predict that and go into Starmie. We lost our Stealth Rocker, unfortunately, so Talonflame is going to be a little bit of an issue if he can manage to get rid of them. But, no, I think we're looking pretty solid this game, honestly. I don't... how do I want to win this, actually? I can win with Manectric. I just got to predict Sceptile coming in. Or I got to make sure he doesn't get off the Mega Evo, which is probably going to happen right here anyway, so... He's going to go for Dragon Pulse. Awesome. We take that, no problem. I kind of want to scout for the Hidden Power Fire. At the same time, I don't. Because I don't want to take a Leaf Storm or a Focus Blast with Landorus. It's going to hurt. So I'm just going to go for U-turn and hope he doesn't have Hidden Power Fire. Crossing my fingers right now. He can't really switch into anything. His Scizor's probably going to drop to this U-turn. This is a U-turn from a Scizor. So yeah, and he's banded. He's not defensive. So there goes Scizor. And again, I just want to keep his Starmie out. I don't want him spinning the rocks away. So let's make that happen. I don't care if he goes Mamoswine. I will go straight into my Keldeo on the Mamo. If he wants to go into Starmie afterwards, that's perfectly fine. We'll play from there, but I do not want to let his Starmie in for free to spin away the rocks. I want them up. I want to break Mamo's potential sash. I want to break a potential sash on Crawdaunt as well. Who knows? And of course, I want to damage Talonflame. I want to damage Sceptile. So we'll see. We'll see if we're able to do that. So here goes. Let's see what he wants to go into. I personally would go into Crawdaunt. Yeah, exactly. If he gets off a Swords Dance, I don't want him to Aqua Jet me for free. So I'm just going to go into Keldeo. If he goes for knockoff, that's fine too. I don't mind losing my specs. I would actually like to switch up moves against the Mamoswine. Well, actually both are super effective, so it doesn't really make a difference. I'd like to switch up moves against Starmie if it's not carrying a Psychic type move. That would be really cool. Because I have Hidden Power Bug on my Keldeo. So, we'll see what he wants to do. If he... SDs here could be a problem, but he actually chooses to go for knockoff. I'm pretty sure that's banded damage. Is he Life Orb? What is he? Yeah, he's Life Orb. Never mind. I'm just going to go for Scald here. I'm not going to go for Sacred Sword. There's no way. I'm going to potentially burn the Starmie. Here we go. And we don't get it, unfortunately. I'm just going to go for Hidden Power. I don't care if I lose my Keldeo. I don't want him to get the spin off for free. At this point, he's going to get it one way or another, but I don't want him to get it for free. So we're going to take out the Starmie with the Hidden Power Bug. He might think it's electric. So he might think his Sceptile can just come in whenever it wants on Keldeo. So I might want to keep it. That might be a good thing to have, but we'll see. His Talonflame now comes in for free if it wants to, but I will not let it set up in my face. I'm just going for a Scald. If he wants to go for a Brave Bird, that's perfectly fine. That invites in my Manectric, and he is not leftovers, so gonna go to Manectric, and I'm just gonna fire off a Hidden Power Ice. I do not want his Sceptile coming in for free either. He's more than likely going to go into Mamoswine here because it pretty much resists everything I can throw at it. But definitely do not want to let in Sceptile and get the Lightning Rod. Let's see if he thinks I'm a bad player and just goes straight into it. That would be great. I would love to get rid of Sceptile. That would pretty much win me the game. Because Breloom still has its Sash, so I put this to sleep and I Mach Punch the other two. And that's pretty much a wrap. But we'll see. We'll see. Still waiting for this guy. I'm just going to put it on pause and we'll wait until he makes it. Alright, so he makes a correct play and goes into Crawdaunt to scout for what I wanted to do. Now he's kind of forcing me to go for an electric move, so do I just go for it? I don't mind taking an Aqua Jet because it's -1. Yeah, I'm just going to go for it. He just goes for Aqua Jet. Awesome. Okay. So we're going to kill the Crawdaunt. And -1 Brave Bird, even if it's like Sharp Beak, doesn't take me out. So let's see. What do I want to go into here? If I go Scizor, he's definitely going for Flare Blitz with his Talonflame. There's no doubt in my mind. But that could be a good thing, because then I can fire off a Stone Edge with Landorus. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into Scizor here. I think alternatively, probably going for the Thunderbolt instead of the Volt Switch there might have been a better play. Just because I would have been able to stay in with Manectric, and then he would have been forced to either go into Sceptile to try to outspeed me. I could have switched into Scizor. Scizor's pretty much a flawless check to that thing, unless it's carrying Hidden Power Fire, which we mentioned before. So here, I'm just going to go Landorus. Get the -1 off. Take the Flare Blitz, no problem. Does 35%. He does not get a burn, luckily. And as we can see, obviously, unless he gets a crit, Brave Bird won't take me out either. So I'm just going to fire off a Stone Edge here and hope we take care of one of his Pokemon. I mean, Mamoswine is obvious here. I could also go for a U-turn, but I'd much rather take out this Talonflame right now if I get a chance to. So it's causing me headaches. I don't want this thing around anymore. He's going to go into Sceptile. That's really cool because he's going to weaken this thing. And if I can land my next Stone Edge, alternatively, I don't need to do that. I don't necessarily need to do that. I can keep Lando, bring it back in when Talonflame gets a kill, and then we're okay. So I'm just going to go Sizz. I'm just going to go straight into Scizor. As he's going to go for a Dragon Pulse. Awesome. Obviously, we would have outsped him because we are jolly. So right here, I can just once again go for a U-turn. Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I don't want to give him his Talonflame a chance to come in for free. So in comes Talonflame, as we are going to go straight back into Lando. He's back to -1, so he can't take us out with a Brave Bird. Well, unless he's Sharp Beak, in which case he could. I didn't think about that. Hold on a second. Talonflame, Sharp Beak. That should be what it is. Where are you, Sharp Beak? Where's the set? Is it Offensive Swords Dance? Yeah, that has Sharp Beak. Flare Blitz, Roost, Swords Dance, Brave Bird. So let's calc Brave Bird on Landorus at -1. This is offensive Landorus with no defensive investment. Flare Blitz does do about that. Yeah, that's about correct. And Brave Bird does have a chance to kill us. So I don't know. I might want to go into Manectric here. Oh, I'm just going to go for Stone Edge. No, forget it. He's going to go into Mamoswine. We're going to get a big hit off on this thing. That's awesome. If he is Life Orb, he's going to be taking a lot of damage. I'm going to go straight into Scizor. And I think this is where we have to let Scizor go down. I still have my Breloom, so we're pretty much good. As long as that thing's alive. I can still put something to sleep, barring his Sceptile. His Sceptile I can Mach Punch, though. He is going to get up rocks, so that is going to hinder... well, we have Defog, actually. We do have Defog. I'm just going to go for it here. He's going to go for Earthquake. It's going to do a lot of damage, actually. I might be in range of another one if he gets the same roll. But he might want to go for an Ice-type move here, predicting my Landorus to want to come in. He's not Life Orb. I'm going to go for Roost. As he does switch into Talonflame. Awesome. So now he has to Flare Blitz me. At this point, Manectric's expendable. I can pretty much go straight out into it. I'm going to keep my Scizor because my Scizor destroys Mamoswine and Sceptile. I'm just going to let this Talonflame take damage to itself. And if he doesn't have Roost, then we're pretty much good. He goes for Flare Blitz. It does a lot of damage. Not enough, though. And we're just going to go for Hidden Power. We are faster than this thing if it is locked into Flare Blitz for whatever reason. Unless he's Scarfed, of course. So he does go for Brave Bird. That is going to knock us out. His Mamoswine is not in range, however, of Stone Edge. So, he is at -2 now, so he definitely cannot stay in, even if he is Sharp Beak. Really tempted just to go into it, though. I mean, I'm really thinking he's tempted to go into it. I'm just going to fire off the Stone Edge once again. Roost, I think he still goes down to the Stone Edge if it hits. We still have to connect the Stone Edge. I mean, that's a big issue, as we do not on the Sceptile, unfortunately, but we are faster, so I am going to fire off another one. Hopefully we land this one. If we get rid of this thing, awesome. Okay, cool. So we got rid of Sceptile. Obviously, he didn't really need it anymore, per se. As Mamoswine is going to come back in, I am just going to go straight into Scizor. If he wants to go into Talonflame, that's perfectly fine. If he wants to double into it, I am just going to U-turn. If he Flare Blitzes me, I do believe he does go down to Recoil. And then at that point, if he is Choice Lock, because he hasn't switched up his moves once, has he? No, he just did, actually. Yeah, he did. He's going to go for Ice Shard, perfectly fine. I'm free to U-turn here. And he is faster than me, so he has to hit me first. And I don't know if he's faster than Breloom, though. That could be an issue. We'll see, though. He goes for Stealth Rocks. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to get a U-turn off. And I'm going to go into Landorus, lower this thing's attack. And we're going to go back into Scizor. As now he can't really do anything. He's going to Ice Shard me. He's definitely going to Ice Shard here. He has to. He can't risk losing his Mamoswine to a Stone Edge. Can he? Because doesn't he go down to Flare Blitz recoil? He's actually just going to go for Endeavor, okay. I'm actually kind of forced to Bullet Punch here. Yeah, I definitely am. I have to go for it. I haven't shown it yet. He's seen U-turn Defog Roost, so he lets his Mamoswine go down. And now it comes down to how much recoil he's going to take from hitting Breloom. Honestly, if he goes for the Brave Bird here, he probably knocks me out. I'm just going to go for Bullet Punch, as he is going to go for Brave Bird. He's going to get a little bit of recoil damage. And I think I'm going to force the recoil here. I'm going to go into Landorus, and I'm going to double into Breloom. I'm going to force him to attack me. He has no choice but to attack here. If he goes for Roost, this guy's real, but he has to attack me here. And he does, and he should kill himself to recoil, as he does. Okay, so we take that one. Awesome, okay. So we played that one. It was a little risky on the end game. Those are very threatening Pokemon, man. Talonflame is a top-tier threat. He drops the GG. Says well played. Him as well, so... yeah, so Mamoswine used to be an OU Pokemon, actually, and it dropped down and switched places with with Hippowdon, actually. So that thing was really, really threatening at some point until Megas started taking over, and then it just dropped. And with the more Megas that came out in ORAS, less viable that Mamoswine was. So, but Sceptile is definitely a threat because of its speed, its ridiculous special attack, how hard it can hit. Talonflame as well because of the priority. So we're gonna get one last one. I think we still have time. Hopefully this will be a quick one. And by quick, I mean we're not going to lose. We're still going to try to play correctly, as he has pretty much every threat in the game plus a Rotom fan. So this is a setup sweeper. This is a potential setup sweeper or a choice band Pokemon. This is a boosting sweeper. This is probably tank. And Rotom fan is actually a lot better than some people think. The only reason it's bad is because of its Stealth Rock weakness, obviously, but it's still an RU-mon, and it does do work. So I believe it's still RU. I'm just going to lead Heatran here, as he actually does lead Garchomp. I'm expecting him not to Earthquake. Do I want to chance that? How important is this? Not so much. I'm just going to go for Stealth Rocks, honestly. I'm just going to Stealth Rock turn 1. Not a lot of people do it. A lot of people are scared when they see ground type versus Heatran. So, okay, so he just goes straight for Earthquake. All right, sure. Gonna go into Keldeo, as nothing really wants to get burned. So I'm just gonna fire off a Scald here. His Garchomp can definitely take it. He can even take a Specs Hydro Pump, but I doubt he's going to want to. As he switches into his Azumarill, if we can burn this thing, that would be awesome, as we do not, unfortunately. But do I see him going for the Fairy move straight off the bat while I still have a Scizor? Not really. I see him going for a Waterfall, so I'm going to Scald again. Or you can also switch into a Volcarona, but he doesn't. He just stays in. He is Citrus, and he is going to Belly Drum, so that's actually really good. As Aqua Jet will not take me out, and Scald will take him out. So he's going to Aqua Jet. Obviously, you see that does a tremendous amount. Azumarill is already very powerful, and then give it a max attack boost, and it becomes the biggest threat. But Keldeo lives that. That's great. We can still come in on Rotom Fan. We can still come in on Garchomp and an unboosted Volcarona. He's going to go straight into Volcarona. That makes me think he's Pasho Berry. Are we faster with Landorus? Not if he goes to +1. I am just going to Scald, though. We are Specs. He is Sash, though. But we can still Bullet Punch him. So I'm not worried. Now I'm worried. Now I'm definitely worried. We do have a Sash with Breloom. We can expend that right now. Kind of want to do that. Do we need Breloom for anything else? No, it dies to Superior. It doesn't do much to Superior. It dies to Pinsir's Quick Attack. It doesn't really take on Garchomp. So yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to double Mach Punch, I think. Or I can even Spore. Do I want to get greedy? No, I'm just going to Mach Punch. I know he resists it. I don't know if he takes it, but yeah, I think he takes like 18 from this. No, he goes straight down. Okay, cool. So we actually get to keep our Sash. That's great. That's awesome. We can still Spore something. If he goes into Superior, he could still have HP Fire on that thing. Would he? By the makeup of his team, he has... But he has Garchomp and he has Azumarill to take down... No, sorry, he has Volcarona and he has Rotom Fan to take down Ferrothorn, so would he have HP Fire? And he also has decent answers to Scizor being Pinsir and the Volcarona as well, so he could have HP Fire on it, honestly. So this thing is definitely faster than almost all variants of Breloom. I don't have a really good switch into Fire Blast anymore, unfortunately, so I kind of just have to go... I have to bite the bullet and Spore. He's going to Outrage, actually, so that's awesome. We're going to get knocked down to our Sash, but now we get to fire off a Bullet Seed. If his Superior should want to come in, I think he can switch out. Yeah, he definitely can. He decides to go into Rotom Fan, so that's going to take a good amount of damage from this. Well, he only gets 2 hits, but he can Volt Switch now. His Garchomp is asleep, so it's not too much of a threat. Do I want to keep Breloom? Not really. You know what? I'd rather just get off damage on this thing, to be perfectly honest. And this thing doesn't take a Volt Switch or a Thunderbolt too well. And then he doesn't have a switch in for Hidden Power Ice. So I think Manectric cleans up this game for us, especially if that Garchomp is offensive, which it seemed to be. We're just going to get a Mach Punch damage. He's going to go for Air Slash. That's perfectly fine. We can just go into Manectric here and click Volt Switch. If he stays in, then he could Wisp, I guess. Probably just sack Scizor to the Will-O-Wisp. Then again, Scizor again does quite a bit of work to the Superior. But we still have Manectric and we have our Scarfed Landorus, so I don't think this thing hasn't killed off a turn of sleep yet. So he can keep switching in and out, but Pokemon are going to take damage if he does that. So he's going to be fast asleep. He is Scarfed, as we can see. And I am just going to switch directly into my Landorus on this turn, lower his attack even more. That way, if he should wake up at any point, he's definitely going for a Dragon move here. And I definitely need to keep this thing. Scizor is expendable. Scizor is definitely expendable. He wakes up and he goes for the Stealth Rocks. Okay. I'm just going to defog those away. He's Choice Scarf Stealth Rock for some reason. He is going to go into his Rotom, so we are going to have to take a Will-O-Wisp, unfortunately. But I am just going to U-turn here. And yeah, there we go. So there's the Willow. We're going to U-turn. Obviously, you can see that does nothing. But now I'm almost pretty free to Hidden Power Ice. Yeah, I'm just going to go for HP Ice. Going to prevent his Garchomp from coming in. We already know it's Scarfed, but... And that's the exact reason I can't let it come in for free. He's actually just going to Will-O-Wisp my Manectric, which is perfectly fine. And I'm just going to go for Hidden Power Ice again. I don't really care. I also don't want to get this thing in range of Quick Attack from Pinsir, but there we go. And now we're actually just going to Volt Switch here, as it does kill this. And we won't take any more burn damage at the end of the turn, which is what I wanted. So now we go Scizor. And any one of his Mons is faster than me, and that's why I went Scizor, because I want the slow U-turn into one of my faster Pokemon. And he's going to choose Pinsir, and we're just going to go for U-turn. Should he choose to Swords Dance, then we are going to get off the U-turn. We are going to go into Landorus, and Quick Attack is not going to do too much. So Stone Edge If he chooses to Mega Evolve, and we land the Stone Edge, of course, then his Pinsir is going to go down. And he doesn't get the Aerialate boost from Quick Attack if he doesn't Mega Evolve. So he does have the Hyper Cutter right now, but he's not. So he's not at +1. But he's still going to take a lot from the Stone Edge regardless. If he does go for Return in regular form, which he should live a Stone Edge. I'm not 100% sure actually. Hold on, let me calculate that. Stone Edge from Max Attack, Jolly. Oh, not Lonely. Jolly. To Pinsir, regular Pinsir. Pinsir, OU Swords Dance. Stone Edge does 87 min. So yes, it does kill. Awesome. Superior comes out. So this thing is obviously a threat. However, we can just go into ZtheZorua and let it take a Leaf Storm. Perfectly fine. I'm going to go for U-turn. If he has HP Fire, he has HP Fire. That's okay. And we're going to win the game with Landorus, because Landorus is at full. It can take an Outrage from Garchomp. So we're gonna U-turn twice and win. Or he can go into his Garchomp now and let it die. That's okay too. I wouldn't argue with that. That would be fine. He just goes for another Leaf Storm, so that's great. We're gonna get off a big U-turn here. As you can see, that still does a lot of damage even though we're burned. I'm just going to go into my own Landorus here. I'm going to U-turn. Really hope he's not Scarfed, the random Scarf Superior. We are going to take him out. And now we're going to force his Garchomp to lock itself into Earthquake. And we're going to say GG as he goes into Garchomp. And we're going to go into ZtheZorua and let us take the Outrage here that he's forced to go for. And I'm going to Bullet Punch. And he already dropped the GG because he already knew this game was over. And that's going to be the end of the Garchomp. So we got another win. Luckily, 2 wins, 1 loss. That's the ratio I like to keep every episode. And I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you want to see more. And thanks again for watching. Ciao.